Today on WWE, we talk John Cena's retirement year and how all good things must come to an end. If there's one thing you can be sure of in life, that's changes. Even the bad stuff ends. Let's get into it. So welcome to WWE Wrestling with Adversity, and on today's show we're talking about John Cena and his retirement year. A lot of people out there getting really stressed about this final year, this final run, and I'm one of those people. I don't like how it's gone down. I think from the beginning it looked alright, it looked decent. We got The Rock turning him heel. We had signs, gestures coming from The Rock that something else might be in store, but it's never really taken off. I don't know what's happened to The Rock. I don't know what's going on backstage, but for Cena to go on his final year, the GOAT, to go on his final year and just be involved in a storyline and then just leave it. Let's just have a walk by. And who's your favourite wrestlers that you fought? Yeah, you can wrestle him. Do some of the moves of people that you can't wrestle because we ain't got enough time, and then we'll pack you all up and send you on your way at a pay-per-view that no one gives a shit about. I don't know if they're trying to give that pay-per-view some credit with Goldberg having his final match there as well, but I don't like it. It stinks. I'm hearing stuff that Cena doesn't like it either. I'm sure a man of his caliber, the way he looks after himself, the way he presents himself, the way he works so hard, he's not going to be happy with this. He's not going to be happy with a kind of mediocre kind of fart of a leave. It's just, there you go. There's Cena. Bye, Cena. Nah. For me, it's not good enough. I know for a lot of fans it's not good enough. And it's these half-assed, half-told stories. It's happened in the past. I know people are only starting to wake up to this now. I'm seeing it a lot online. But this has been going on with WWE for a long time. Stories that don't quite finish, or stories that don't make sense. Most notably, I don't know if anyone remembers, Seth Rollins when he was with Buddy Matthews. And they went through this thing of fighting the Mysterios, taking Mysterio's eye out on the corner of the stairs and all this. And it went on and on and on until eventually Buddy turned face, turned on Seth. I think he beat Seth. I can't remember what pay-per-view it was. But that all happened. I was there. I seen it. And then it wasn't long later, Seth's doing a promo and Buddy walks up behind him and goes, "Do you need any help?" As if like, I haven't just watched all that. What are you on about? We can't be getting into that. We can't be pretending things didn't happen. So it's just like this Rock situation. We can't be pretending that didn't happen. What was the symbols and the signs about? Why would Cena turn heel? The biggest face of all time. Why is he turning heel? There's got to be a reason. But it's like, nah, he was just being a bit of a knob, really. It's like, really? He was just being a bit of a knob. And then he goes, "Oh, do you know what, guys? Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have been a knob." It's not good enough. And for him to sit there with Cody in the ring, and Cody turns around and goes, "I'll give you a good scolding. You've been a naughty boy." And then the next night, he's like, "Yeah, you were right. Yeah, I did just fucking throw 20 years down the drain just because I felt like being a bit of a knob." It's like, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. This storytelling, like, those wrestlers deserve better. That company deserves better than that. I know things change. I know things go on behind the scenes, and sometimes it can't be helped. And I know that. I don't know everything that's gone on. But as someone who loves to be entertained by WWE, it just feels such a shame that would happen on John Cena's retirement year. Of course, I've heard the other stuff, which I do not believe it's true, that Cena would go to AEW or go anywhere else. He's too much of a WWE guy. He loves the fans. And the point of him is, on this farewell tour, is to say, that's it, I'm done. He's a man of his word. And he tweeted out recently, that he's tweeted, X'd, if that's what you call it. Yeah, so he's going to stick to his word. He's going to retire. And I just hope his last match is something to be proud of. But what do you guys think of Gunther putting Gunther over? I mean, For me, Gunther was brilliant before he got to WWE. He was brilliant in NXT, and then he could have been brilliant when he came up, but I don't know, it's just not quite. I've seen him have some great matches, and it's like, I don't know what it is about the main roster when they get up there. It's like they hold them back. They're just tightening the reins on them. And I'd just love to see Gunther be able to go wild and just be this full-on bad guy that he can be. But it's all a little bit managed. And then the Imperium didn't work out. And yeah, for me, it's just not quite hitting the notes for me. But this is what happens, you go through life and endings happen, and you might be expecting a big retirement party or, to be recognised for something, and suddenly it's just a damp squib. It's just a little blow in the wind, and you're expecting more. It's the same when I finished secondary school or high school in America. It was like, oh, this big day, this big event, the whole world's looking at me like, look, I get to finish school and I made it to the top and all my mates. And then it was like the day after, that was it. It was over. Everyone just went their own way, and I was left not knowing what to do. I didn't know who I was without my friends. I didn't know who I was. I didn't want to go to school. And then suddenly when it was over, I had no identity. Like, I don't go to school anymore. What do I do? So you get a job now. Well, I was living on my own and my mum wasn't capable of looking after me. So I didn't know what to do. All my mates were getting jobs, going to be carpenters and bricklayers or mechanics and all this kind of stuff. And I was just left like, what the fuck do I do now? So I lost my identity. I had no reason to do anything anymore. And that's what endings can feel like. But you must always remember that even though good things end, bad things end too. I've been through depression. I've been through addiction. I've been through anxiety. I've been through health anxiety. And when you're in that, it feels incredibly difficult to think that this is ever going to end. It just goes on and on and on, and you're constantly trying to figure it out in your mind, cognitively get to the bottom of what's happening, mull it over, stretch it long ways inside out. Why am I depressed? Why am I anxious? Why can I not go out and see people? Why did I used to have friends and fun with people, and now I just feel isolated and alone? And it's a really difficult place to be when you're like that. But you must remember that it will end. You just put in the small steps, and that's what I try to help people with here. Those small steps will add up. They stack up. And it's really important to take those steps and not isolate and not stay away from people and not reach out for help. Endings will always be there. There's endings of everything. But after an ending, there's always a new chapter as well. Kids start their little babies and you think, oh, I love my little baby. And then they're in their 2s and 3s, and then they get up, and then they get into their teenage years and they might be being knobs. Each stage, it just ends, but another one begins. And then they get into their 20s, and then maybe they're looking at making a family of their own. And then they've got children, and then there's always another chapter. Yeah? So don't worry about if you're stuck in anxiety now, if you're having panic attacks, if you're going through a lot of mental health struggles. These things do end. I promise you, they do end. Yeah? People like Cena know this. They reach out to so many people around the world. And what we notice is, if you stay connected, if you take the small steps, the rest will take care of itself. You don't have to fix it all, and you're not broken. That's such an important thing to remember. Your body's going through something, your mind is going through something, but it's not going to last forever. So, yeah, so Cena's final match at Saturday night main event, possibly versus Gunther. Maybe that's confirmed. And then that's it. And it might not be the send-off we all want. And what do we do with that? We can't sit around moping about it. It is going to be the end. He says he's not coming back. He wants to be involved in other ways. But he doesn't want to wrestle because he thinks he's missed a step. So what do we do with that? We thank him for the amazing time that we had. I hope we see him again in some capacity. And we move on to the next stage and the next chapter. And he will too. Whether it's movie making or something else in the pipeline, he's always doing something. And then we get new wrestlers, the likes of Bron Breakker coming up, and Dominic Mysterio, who's doing so amazing. They're the next one in line, aren't they? You know, there was Hogan, then there was Stone Cold and The Rock and Triple H, and then Cena and Randy Orton and Batista, and then The Shield with Seth, Dean and Roman. You know, there's always another chapter beginning when one ends. Things always end, but another chapter will begin. So I hope that gives you hope today. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hit the like and subscribe and all that stuff, and drop a comment as well. Tell me what you think about Cena's retirement here. So it's not about hitting the mat, it's all about the kick out. So hope you enjoyed today's show. Bye.